Hi, this video is going to be a quick overview of Protozoa. Let's get started. Protozoa are eukaryotic organisms. Now, if you remember about prokaryotic organisms, there are two types of prokaryotic organisms, and those are bacteria and archaea. And the thing about prokaryotic organisms is that they will always be unicellular, or always going to be single celled. However, with eukaryotes can either be unicellular or multicellular. So I just wanted to make that quick differentiation. With protozoa in particular, protozoa are always unicellular or single-celled. Protozoa can either live as parasites or they can live freely. Most protozoa tend to live freely. In what, you might ask? They tend to live freely in aqueous, most times aqueous environments. So we are talking your lakes, talking rivers, oceans, saltwater, freshwater, etc. Now, sometimes they can also live in moist environments such as soil. Regarding motility, a lot of protozoa are mobile, meaning they can move. However, not all can move. So an example of a protozoa that cannot move is Plasmodium. And this is a parasite that causes malaria. And another example of a protozoa that doesn't move is Toxoplasmola gondii. Toxoplasmola gondii. And this causes toxoplasmolysis. Malaria spreads through the bite of an infected mosquito, so they use mosquitoes as their vectors or vehicle of transportation, if you will. Toxoplasmola gondii, that causes toxoplasmolysis via cat feces. So this is why pregnant women are advised to avoid cat litter because they could possibly introduce themselves to this parasite right here, this protozoa, and that can cause damage to their unborn child. And again, these two are examples of protozoa that live as parasites. Protozoa, if they can move protozoa, if they can move, are motile through pseudopods, cilia, or flagella. And here it should be motile. An example of a protozoa that is motile via pseudopods is amoeba. And pseudopods are simply projection-like extensions of the cytoplasm. So with pseudopods, they are extensions of the cytoplasm. Now, an example of a protozoan that moves via cilia is a paramecium. And cilia are hair-like projections that enable motility. Paramecium. And as for flagella, that is a tail or whip-like extension that enables mobility. So with pseudopods, those are extensions of the cytoplasm that enables motility. And pseudopod stands for false feet. Pseudo meaning false, and pod referring to feet. Cilia, these are going to be hair-like projections. That enable motility. And then flagella, this is going to be a tail or a whip-like appendage that enables motility. Protozoa reproduce sexually or asexually. Now, in the field of microbiology, sexually refers to needing another protozoa to reproduce. Needing another protozoan. Zoan referring to singular, protozoa referring to plural. And asexually meaning that a single protozoan can reproduce by itself, right? Think back to bacteria. Bacteria produce asexually via binary fission. So one bacteria can simply split into two to reproduce. Similar concept of not needing another separate entity to help reproduce. It can just do it by itself. So that's what the asexually is referring to. As for their food, protozoa get their nutrition through absorbing organic compounds from their environment, or if they're living as a parasite, they get their nutrition from the host that they live in. Now, some protozoa are photosynthetic, so they could use light to produce their own food. So that wraps up this quick overview of protozoa. That's it for this video. I hope this video helps. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.